Lab Maniacs. I'm glad to be back and glad to be talking to you. It's been a while. You know, previously when I was doing editing for the Lab Maniacs, I had a full-time job. I was a full-time student, and Lab Maniacs was really a hobby and a passion. Luckily, I'm in a position where I can change that. I graduated and am in between jobs, and I have the ability to try to turn this into a sustainable job, which I'm super excited about. So we're going to be back. I have several things lined up and looking at putting things out in the near future. Middle of March is when I'm looking at starting things. With that, though, in order to turn this into a full-time job, our content is going to need to change just a little bit. Unfortunately, focusing so close on competitive EDH, there isn't a big enough audience to sustain me where I'm at in Seattle. It costs too much here. And I'm going to be branching out, but I will be sticking to our roots. I started with competitive EDH on this channel. We're going to be doing at least one thing a month for competitive EDH, whether it's gameplay, deck techs, theory, rundowns. I've got several different things that I'm looking at, and that will be in there. Beyond that, I'm looking at several different things based in mid-power, high-power, kind of playing off of the Play EDH power levels. If you're not familiar with that, I will link to both the Play EDH Discord and their power level philosophy document in the description below. And I'll be using those to kind of guide the discussions and where this information is pointed at for that Rule Zero conversation. As well as YouTube content, I'm also looking at Twitch streams. Now, I'm not too sure when exactly to do that, but I'm looking at weekly or bi-weekly, and there is a possibility of being at several different times. There's a survey in the description below. If you guys can go through that, it's pretty short. It's just asking when the best time is for you as a viewer to join in on the stream. I know there's a ton of Magic streamers out there, and I don't know when all people are doing things, so your input is really appreciated. As well as YouTube, Twitch, we're also looking at putting some articles up on labmaniacs.com. I'm going to be talking to see about putting that elsewhere, but I don't know just yet. Also, looking at our Patreon. It's been inactive for over a year and a half. I'm going to be going through and adjusting the tiers that are currently on there. If you were signed up as a patron, it kept you at the original tier. I'm not too sure if it's going to be deleting that tier or if it's just going to be adjusting it. I'm aiming content to start in the middle of March. I'm going to be turning Patreon back on April 1st. So if you are currently a patron, please double check your subscription settings because it will start again, and I don't want anybody to be caught off guard with that. I will be posting this as well in the Discord as well as on our patron page. Also, with updating Patreon, I'm going to be updating our Discord. Right now, there's really just a general discussion area for non-patrons, and I'm going to be expanding that, kind of mirroring a few other Discords that have a much more fleshed out patron and non-patron Discord. I want to make it more open to everybody for the discussions. Now, other Lab Maniacs, they're going to be involved still. I've talked with them, and they're going to be involved at different levels. And some of them, their passions have changed. Siggy has really been focusing on a format of EDH called Conquest. It's aimed at actually doing competitive level bannings on an EDH-like format. And it's pretty fun. It might take a little bit to get into it, but it's quite interesting, and there's a lot of space there to brew around. There will be some content for that. Dan, Luke, Cobblepot, they have moved on all around. Cobble is doing stuff with the Mind Sculptors, but I may be joining him. He may be joining me. We're going to do stuff. Dan and Luke as well. I can't wait to do more with them. They're all great people. I love hanging out with them. And I love making content for you guys. So thanks again for sticking around. I'm sorry it's been so long since we've had stuff on here, but I am looking towards the future and I am super excited. So until next time, see you later.